Hey bookworms, this is Johnny. Thanks for tuning in. For those of you that don't know me, I'm an author and a big old bookworm, and I'm doing these monthly videos. It's kind of a new thing in a way. I already kind of do a monthly recap on my website, and I made some promotional videos for a new work of mine earlier this month, and I had a lot of difficulty with it, to say the least. So I'm trying to get better, trying to build up my confidence as, a speaker, and also just share what's going on in my world. So every month I go over what's happening with my current writing projects, stuff that I've read, and a couple little personal tidbits here and there. So that's basically the premise of these videos, and I hope you continue to tune in. So here it goes. So for February, there's not a lot of personal tidbits. I'm pretty sure you're aware of the kind of ice age thing we had going on for a couple weeks. So I'm just glad that's over because nose sickles are not good for anybody. No. um, so moving on to writing, there have been so many developments this month, and I'm really excited because I released a new work. It's called Reaper Aftermath, and it's a sci-fi horror young adult novel that's a continuation of Reaper, a horror novella. So if you like chills and thrills and mixed with a little bit of sci-fi craziness, definitely look into it. And you can find that at my website or pretty much any retailer. I kind of broadened my distribution, so you can pretty much find it anywhere. Um, this week, I was actually sponsored by Goddess Fish Promotions, and they did something of they called it a book blast. So it's basically a bunch of bloggers getting the word out about my book, and so I'm just giving a quick shout out. Super grateful for everything they've done, and next week I'll be featured on R&R book tours, and I know Shannon who runs it, and she always does a great job. So I'm looking forward to that too. So lots of great things with that. Um, so moving on to other writing projects. The second I got done with Reaper Aftermath, I started working on two different projects. One is called The Gifted Chronicles, and the other is called The Ruins of Ayarkachi. So with the Gifted Chronicles, that's a very old project of mine. I've been working on it for so long. You guys, seriously, it's crazy. I've put at least 5 years of work into that. It was my first manuscript that I ever finished. I went through a lot of growing pains with that one as I was still kind of working on my craft and stuff. So it's kind of my love child, and I didn't want to give up on it. So I decided to, dust it off a little bit and see what's there. So I had something of a preconceived notion that all I needed to do was spruce it up a little bit. But yeah, no, I need to do a lot more than that. So I've been catching some things, like info dumps and, just like tightening the writing and just kind of updating it to reflect my current style. So about a third of the way through with the first go through. There's definitely going to have to be another go through. So fingers crossed that that goes off swimmingly. So we'll see with time though. So, and I've been burning out a little bit on that. A couple days this month, I kind of switched over to working on the ruins of Ayarkachi, which is an LGBT horror novel. Um, and so basically, that's about this gay couple. They go to South America because one of them is a travel blogger and has had a lot of like mounting success. Um, and they're hoping to get their own paranormal TV show. And so basically, what they find there is something dark, scary, and ominous. So hopefully, that will that story will develop a bit more. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm currently working on the plotting phase. I had already done some work on it, so I'm going through things and making sure everything looks nice and um, yeah, and that it's accurately reflected. I mean, I've never been to South America, so I have to make sure that I get all the research done and that everything feels authentic and real. So fingers crossed on those. All right. So moving on to reading. This month I read 4 books and one short story. So I printed printed off. So my my short term memory is not great. So all right. So the first one I read was The Undead Mr. Tenpenny by Tammy Painter. Then I read Starsight Skyward Number 2 by Brandon Sanderson, Liars and Thieves by D. Wallace Peach, Frank by Essie Gerler, and Across the Dark Water by Richard Kadri. So all these books this month were really good. I think the lowest score I gave them on a 5-star scale was like a 3.5. So um, yeah, it went really well. And I just want to go over my favorite one for the month, and that was, drumroll, The Undead Mr. Tenpenny by Tammy Painter. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of Tammy Painter because I've read a lot of her short stories and her Domina series, which is a Greek tragedy. And she always does such a great job. And I don't know how she pulls it off. But so with the undead Mr. Tenpenny, um, this girl, she works at a funeral home, and she is a beautician, and the dead start coming back to life. Microphone drop. Like that's a really great premise. So it had me from the beginning. Um, and there's a lot of adventure, mystery, plenty of magic, and I'm an escapist by nature, so I loved every minute of it. I was like, please let me live in this book. So I absolutely loved it, and I highly recommend it. You can check it out at her website, or again, in any number of retailers. So yeah, so those are my reads for February, and I'm looking forward to things moving forward in March. There's plenty of great stuff to come, so keep tuning in. I hope you stick around, and yeah, stay safe, and I'll see you in March.